Yo, what is going on? Craziness going down tonight.
Gotta love it.
We were just together watching it. And very exciting game, but not for you LA Rams fan, but we're going to get there. You know who it is. Mykell Mathieu with my guy Eric Lambkins the second, and we are the Misfits, and we are here live for you on this Monday. We told you we would be here after the Monday Night Football game, and we are here. So I hope you guys are ready for it. Elam, say what's up to the people, man.
Yo, what's up? What's up, world? You know who it is. You are tuned in to the tightest tag team tandem this side of the galaxy. We are the Misfits, where we encourage you not to fit in, but find a way to stand out. Now, I am a man of my word. I said we were going to be here on Monday after the game. I had to pull. I had to go. I had to coax this guy, Mykell, the PG, to be here. Nonetheless, we are here. You know I'm a man of my word because anytime I make a bet, I'm going to come through for you. This dude right here still owes me
I
either
paid him off,
a
guys.
beard or an eyebrow and still hasn't given it to me.
I,
But
I paid him off.
we'll pick that up next year because I see that I'm gonna have to continuously bring up footage, but we got a dope show lined up for you. Mykell was talking to me as I'm sitting up here taking notes during the game. So I'm a little scatterbrained all over the place. I still gotta, write my article, but this is why we're here. This is why we do this. It's the love of the game, man. So, Kels, what we got lined up for him first?
Yeah, man. Of course, we're going to attack right off the way Monday Night Football. We got to talk the Chargers taking a big L on Saturday. The Clippers.
Big L, this ain't New York.
Yeah, true. Rest in peace, Big L. But the Clippers, man, they're actually playing some good basketball. So, four straight. You got to talk to Lakers. NFL Week 17 breakdown. Get you ready for the college football playoffs. More to come. That's coming up this week. Anthony Joshua. After such a high, then you deal with a low. And a lot more. Political E is here to talk in that realm. We're going to talk about where media is going and so much more. So we thank you guys who are here tapped in with us here with the Misfits. But we got to start Monday Night Football, a game that I was like, yo, if you got Kyron Williams, if you got Puka Nacua in fantasy, you're going to have
a great championship. Easy money. Easy money.
You're a Rams fan. They about to take care of business and see what happened. But hey,
you got a proverbial MVP. You got an MVP candidate playing against the lowly Falcons.
Yeah, it was a classic, but not so fast as the Falcons walk away with the big 27-24 victory. And I've been looking over this Puka catch. That looked like a catch, Elam. That sideline catch, it looked like everything needed to be a catch. So I know a lot of Brown fans are on X right now and they're going crazy saying that they dropped the ball with this call, but it wasn't the reason why they lost the game. It was a lot of things. Elam, what did we see the second straight week that the Rams lose a primetime football game, which would have helped them with playoff seeding?
If I had to break it all down to one word, almost. And I think that's what I'm leading with in my article that you'll be able to catch on the Sporting Tribune. Almost. Rams almost won. The Rams almost had an opportunity to take back first place. The Rams almost had a clear path to Levi's in February. Yeah. But this ain't a game of almost. It's a game of execution. Matthew Stafford throws 2 picks. One, he gave him 7 points, but he didn't have a Brock Purdy, like response where he put up 5 tubs. But yeah, man, the Rams have a huge issue, and it is defense. Shout out to the kid. Shout out to the kid V8. Shout out to the kid V8, man. He made things interesting. Blocked the field goal, recovered the field goal, took the deuces on the way to the end zone.
But that's nice and everything. But if you remember last season, going into the year to the postseason, the defense was playing lights out, and that's what gave many people hope that maybe the Rams can possibly turn this into a championship run. This season, it's the total opposite of that. The defense, after getting lit up on fire late against the Seahawks, it happened again today. They allowed
They couldn't stop a. They could not stop the run, bro.
Yeah, it looked like last year when Saquon was running crazy on him. Bijan ran for 195, touchdown, and your 93-yard touchdown. Kirk Cousins made enough plays, and the defense couldn't get off the field. Yeah, so man, the Rams have a lot of issues right now. I know Devontae Adams is out. I think that helps some of the offense, but your boy Matthew Stafford just lost the MVP award with his 3 INTs.
Drake May threw 5 touchdowns. He throws 3 interceptions. And this again, he almost would have won the MVP had he just came out and had an average game. 2 touchdowns. I say 250, 2 tubs, maybe 1 interception. Yo, he still is in pole position to win the MVP with the Cardinals, to close out the schedule. But
hey, Elam, it's done. Matthew Stafford is the almost MVP. The MVP award is going to go to Drake May because he had that performance. I believe he's going to finish the season strong as well. They're going to be a top 2 seed in their conference. We just saw Matthew Stafford lose the MVP award right in front of our eyes on Monday Night Football.
Hey, I got to take a page out of Gen Z in the Church of Brian. Well, at least he played the game. At least he, is making the playoffs. At least, if he just had a little more help, like if his left tackle, and this is real spit, if DJ Humphries does not hold, they win that game. If Sean McVay kicks an early field goal in the first quarter to make the score 7-3, opposed to now the next time you look up is 21-0. This is a completely different game. Ladies and gentlemen, take the points all the time. Take the points.
And another thing you might have to do, much love to Sean McVay. Always cool whenever we talk to him, especially talk to him in person and things like that. He got to run this football, man. Like, you get 13 carries, 90-plus yards from Kyron Williams alone. There was a lot of time in that game where you like, bro, just run the football. You still have time to run the ball, which is going to open up the play-action pass. 38 passes for Matthew Stafford. That's too much.
It's almost as if he saw Drake May go off and was like, all right, Matthew, we gotta keep pace.
Yeah.
You gotta go win it. And it was like Atlanta has a good secondary.
Yeah.
AJ Terrell, Xavier Watts. Jesse Bates balled out. So it's like you're playing to their strength. You're playing, you're playing into their hands. They want you to throw the ball because they believe they're a no-fly zone. And if you would have just ran the ball, you could have played some clock control, taking your shots, soften things up. And I don't understand for the life of me why you don't give DJ Humphries help. Why don't you chip with a tight end? I understand that's not really what you want to do offensively or schematically, but you see DJ Humphries struggling. You gotta give him some extra help.
And hey, as much as love we show Jared Verse, we show Byron Young, Kobe Turner, Braden Fisk, guys like that, Poona Ford, they walk away with 0 sacks. Like, they have to get after the quarterback and make things tough, down the stretch. They can make a run, but it's going to be so much tougher now with this loss against the Falcons today. And if they don't go as far as we thought, Elam, you're going to look back at the game versus Carolina, a team that most people had them circled to beat.
I'm looking at 4 games. 4 games.
It's 2 games. You win. You beat these lowly NFC South teams. You have the best record. What's their record now? 11-5. Like, you're 13-3. You beat the Cardinals. You're 14-3. You're the number 1 seed. But you lose to these 2 teams on the road when nobody would have picked them to win. It's the reason why
you looking at the NFC South. You looking at the NFC South. I'm looking at their own division. If the Rams just handle their food, eat their food in their division, You let Eric Saubert score the game-winning 2-point conversion. That cannot happen. That can't. Like, you got to take away the middle of the field, and it's like, hey, if you're going to take the fade route, you got it. You're going to take it. But we not giving up something in the middle of the field. You allow Seattle to beat you. That puts you in 6th place now. It knocks you from 1st to 6th.
Yeah.
And then I got to go back to that Thursday night game where Kyron Williams is getting ready to go into the end zone. Alfred Collins punches the ball out of his grasp.
Punched him.
Punched him in the jaw. Dazed him, confused him, made him fumble the rock.
And they
gave the 49ers life.
He Anthony Joshua him, and it was tough. But yeah, man, they got to figure it out. They're going to be on the road. There's still an opportunity to possibly get that 5th seed, I believe. So if you can get to 5 and have to face off on the road against Tampa Bay or Carolina in a rematch, that will be much better for them. But if they got to go and play Eagles game number 1 or Bears game number 1 on the road and have to go hit the road again after that, man, this may be a long journey.
They might be one and done, bro. They might be one and done. Like,
it's all
I'm looking at it like this. If you have to pick your poison and play either the Bears or the Eagles in the first round, give me Chicago, man, because you can at least score. You can score.
Yeah, but Chicago, man, like their offense is starting to pick it up.
They're a timely defense. They're just a timely defense.
So we'll see, man. But it was just a bad loss for the Rams on Monday night. We were at David Buster there at what they call the Bridge. What does the other folks call it? We call it the Bridge. What they call
Howard
that
Hughes Center?
Howard Hughes Center. There we go.
Hey, I got a question for you. If the Rams do not make the Super Bowl this year, is this a disappointing year? Is this a disappointment? Is this a failure?
On my end, I believe so, because we came in here saying that, hey, they should be in the Super Bowl. You got the quarterback who's played like an MVP. You got running backs. You got Devontae Adams, Puka, and those tight ends. The defense, we have given high praise. Nate Landman and the secondary play well. Like you win. They most likely going to finish the season with 12 wins. If you don't make the Super Bowl with 12 wins, I believe you have to look at it, especially when you have a quarterback like Matthew Stafford who isn't getting any younger. He's only getting older and older.
But did you foresee the NFC West being as competitive and dominant as it is?
I didn't, but I either or. I always thought that the Rams would sit at the top and be the very best team going into the postseason, but they haven't been, and it's been on their mistakes, on their allowing Seattle to come back on Thursday night, on losing to the Niners when Kyron Williams fumbles that ball, and then you go for it running the ball and they stop you. Like nobody saw. They're saying it in the chat. Nobody saw the 49ers coming, but hey, it's Shanahan that's coaching that team. But the Rams, even with them playing well, if the Rams, like you said, eat their food, chew their food, they're still the best team. But little mistakes, dropping games they shouldn't have dropped, like tonight, has put them in a position that they're going to have to be road warriors. Can they do it? Yes, they can do it. I still think that they can get hot and make a run, but it's going to be an uphill battle. Things can get easier, though. If they can somehow end up at number 5 and playing against the NFC South, I think that's a great road to start, because you end up at number 5, you play the NFC South, which they will most likely be favored against even on the road, and then you can travel to these colder teams and try to make something happen. So we'll see, but this was a very disappointing loss for the Los Angeles Rams tonight, back-to-back weeks, and it just puts them in a tough spot.
If you're in the locker room, if you're in the organization, you're looking at those 4 games. Because the Eagles game, I'll give you, that could have gone either way, right?
Yeah.
One, and you were in position to win that game. That's another almost. So all 5 wins, it's literally been mistakes. The Rams' inability to close out games. And I said this, while we were watching the game. I don't understand why Kyron Williams isn't featured more. I
Man,
think he doesn't have a breakaway speed, the long distance speed, to take carries to the house. He's not as explosive. Blake Corum is far more explosive than he is, but Kyron is far more productive when you give him
opportunities.
carries. Yeah, and it's like I just
run.
sometimes like Sean McVay, Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan, like Lincoln Riley, they all suffer from the same disease. It's I'm not gonna run ism. And it's like, yo, man, you gotta run the ball, especially in the tail end of the season. You gotta run the ball. You have to be able to run the ball.
And that's what you're seeing. Like you saw it tonight. The Atlanta beat them. They run 195 yards. I believe they equaled in total yards Kirk Cousins and Bijan. 195 throwing for Kirk Cousins, 195 rushing. Like you have to utilize that, especially with Devontae Adams out. You don't really have that guy you can go to that can beat one-on-one coverage consistently like him. The Falcons did a really good job on Puka tonight. 5 catches, I believe, for like 45 yards. He has some big plays down the field. He had one taken away, a touchdown taken away on a holding, and then that last catch at the end, which Rams Nation, I am with you guys. I believe that was a catch, that they missed that call.
No, it wasn't a catch. It wasn't.
Bro, it looked
like when he hit the ground, I saw the ball like pop up and he, trapped it against his chest. Like that was an incompletion. It would have been a Hall of Fame. Listen, I think Puka Nacua is going to the Hall of Fame. Don't get it twisted. But that catch, had that been a completion, that's definitely a part of his highlight reel as he's inducted into Canton. That would have been a Hall of Fame catch. But much ado about nothing. It was almost.
We in the era almost. So if they post highlights of guys almost dunking on guys. So I expected to see that catch still a part of his legacy because you don't got to show the whole thing.
If you're a GOAT, almost won a ring and you giving him praise for almost winning, you can praise Puka for almost catching a ball. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
It was a hell of a job, but Rams, very disappointing loss. They needed that one. That would have been a good one because it would have made it easier.
Hold on, though. You get Devontae Adams back.
I know.
You get Alaric Jackson back.
Yeah.
You get Rob Havenstein back.
Mm-hmm.
You still gotta like the Rams' chances going into the playoffs. Although, now they have no home field. Yeah. They get no playoff games at home, so they're on the road from here on out, right? Yeah. Or after next Sunday, they're on the road for as long as they are in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and you gotta like their chances, though.
Yeah,
you still gotta like their chances.
I still have hope for them because we know how this playoff things go. Just get hot and you can win a Super Bowl. I've seen it happen plenty times. So they just got to get hot, but they got to clean up on the defense end, stopping the run. They got to get after the quarterback, and stop getting lit up like they have since the end of that Seahawks game. And then offensively, Matthew Stafford has to be an MVP. You can't have 3 interceptions, turning the ball over. They can't beat themselves. Penalties, interceptions, turnovers, period. That's the only way they've lost any games this season is when they beat themselves. But when they play their football and do it the right way, the Rams are still possibly the best team in the NFC. So we're going to see what happened there. But it's been a tough week for LA football because you had this loss tonight. Saturday, people piled in into the SoFi Stadium. Elam, I have people in the building. Shout out to our guy, Fredo Cervantes, who covers the team for the Sporting Tribune. He said, hey, this is the first time I've seen it 80+% Charger fans when they played against the Houston Texans, but it was for naught as they came up short 20-16 to the Texans. And just like the Rams did tonight, on Saturday, you saw the Chargers start slow, going down 14-0 at the jump. And they go into half down 14-3, and they tried to claw back, but it just wasn't enough. And we got to talk about our boy. We always show love to Dicker the kicker, but he possibly had the worst game
Cost me a fantasy championship, bro.
career in this
Cost me a
game.
fantasy championship.
If he makes his kicks, they win the game.
They win the game, bro. They win the
So
game. I have bragging rights in my fantasy league, but listen, this is my opinion. You already have the playoffs locked up. If you are going to miss or choke any game, let it be now and not in the playoffs. Do I think Cam is going to struggle moving forward? No, he's been the most accurate kicker. He had a bad day at the office. It happens, right? But what do I say? I say the Chargers struggle when they cannot run the ball. That is the key for that offense. If they're able to run efficiently and effectively, it opens things up for the entire offense. It saves the defense so that they could be a little more spry. They're not on the field as long. They could, make more plays. I'm not going to even say better plays. But when they're on the field, as long as they were, like, they're going to get gassed. And listen, man.
One thing I gotta say, Elam. One thing I gotta say about this win, because I know you like, just like we talked about with the Rams, missing an opportunity to have a home game. If the Chargers would have won this game, like the Niners and Seahawks, like Tampa Bay and Carolina, they would have had the chance to play for the division in the final week at Denver. Where now you can get a home game in the playoffs. Which would have been huge for the Chargers because I think that they really need it. And with that O-line decimated the way that they are, you give up 5 sacks, they open up no holes. Now you got to travel on the road throughout. This was a huge,
I'm going to tell you who I blame, though. I'm going to tell you who I blame. I blame Charger fans. Had they showed up earlier throughout the season, maybe they could have had some home field advantage and stolen a game or two and wouldn't be in this, situation. Same thing with Ram fans. You frustrated at the end of the year, end of the season, show up at the beginning of the year. You definitely make a difference. But, hey, we live in Los Angeles, and if you're not winning, people not going to show up. Que sera, sera.
Hey, I ain't blaming no fans. I blame the product on the field. And it's the reason why I came in and I said, until I see the Chargers win the big games, it's hard for me to believe, especially with the injury. Like, if they came in healthy with Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, and that O-line was looking as strong as we thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season, if Amarion Hampton was running crazy because of the O-line and with his abilities, then I will feel different about this team. But because the O-line is so bad, because, we don't know if we can trust on this running game because of that, I think that it puts so much pressure on Justin Herbert. And I haven't seen him in the biggest of biggest games yet go throw 400 yards, 4 touchdowns to upset, a team on the road or things like that. So it makes it harder for me to believe in the Chargers because now they're going to have to be going on the road with this nasty O-line that I feel that me and you can go get a sack on. Like, I saw Willie Anderson he even make a move. He just he did a fake and the lineman moved and he just ran by him. I'm like, come on, man. Like, y'all got to be better than this. And Justin Herbert is already playing with an injured hand. So it's tough, man. It's going to be tough for the Chargers.
I think what the Chargers need, bro, is another. They need another dynamic pass catcher. Like, I'm looking towards the draft. I think Mykell Lemon would suit this offense wonderfully. Maybe you get a Jacoby Lane in the 3rd round that's able to do some stuff. But they really don't have a lot of I ain't going to say a lot of offense. You got to look for a replacement for Keenan Allen. Ladd McConkey, he's been bracketed pretty much the entire year.
You think that's it? You think they're not going to make no noise in the playoff?
No, I'm not saying they're not going to make. No, I think they're one and done. I'm going to just be honest. I think they're one and done.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I just think that, man, with that O-line so banged up, that it just makes it tough for Justin Herbert. And he already doesn't have the weapons that are, like, easily getting open. Like, shout out Quentin Johnston. He's had 2 great back-to-back weeks. But Keenan Allen has slowed down from how well he was playing earlier in the year. Lab McConkey teams are really focusing in on him, so they are making it tough. And then Gatson is just a rookie, but it was a tough loss. They had an opportunity, but just not enough because CJ Stroud tried to give them the win. Like CJ Stroud was throwing like, "Hey, Darren James, you want an interception? Here you go, catch that." And it was just like, what is going on? And the Chargers still lost that game. So it was a tough loss.
I think this is going to bode well for the Chargers moving forward. I think, they're still relatively young. I don't think they're a young team, but I think they're relatively young. This is part of the maturation. You're them losing close games like this is only going to bode well for them moving forward. I think they'll contend next year for the AFC West title because the Chiefs they're not coming back anytime soon.
Don't sleep,
bro. It's Mykell. Do I have to bring the tape up? You already know how I get down, bro.
Hey, things change year by year. Look at Jacksonville won 4 games last year. Now they have a chance to be the top seed.
They just needed coaching. That was it. They had a quarterback. They just needed coaching.
Same thing. So the Chargers, you want to try to take advantage of every year. It sucks the injuries happen. Because
I think Khalil Mack has like 2 more years. This
defense is
like
over.
Next year. Yeah, next year will be, I think, the last hurrah. So it's either you get a pass rusher in the first round, or like I said, like a Mykell Lemon. But yeah, they have some holes on both sides of the ball. But I didn't have a ton of expectation for the Chargers. Not that I didn't think that they were capable of winning.
If you would have told
when Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt went down, my expectations went out the window.
Yeah. I said they would still make the playoffs, but I knew it would be hard to make noise because losing 1 tackle is tough. I seen the Chiefs make the Super Bowl without 1 tackle, but then get exposed because that tackle was out in the Super Bowl. But losing 2, it's gonna be hard to move through the playoffs like that.
Right there.
You really, and you saw that them Texans, them dudes got some goons on that defensive line, and they were able to get after
the Texans. I think had the best pass rush in the NFL, man.
Oh, easily.
With Daniil and Will. I don't see another tandem that's as dynamic. Maybe Philly, but
when they got it going, but right now they don't got it going. Like they had it going against Buffalo. They 5 sacks, they did their thing, but just Texans have been having it going all season long and look really good with it. For our NFL fans, stay with us. We're gonna dive a little deeper into week 17 and kind of give you some of our thoughts with week 18. But we got to switch it to some winning because we talking about all this losing in LA. This is a city of winners, including myself and my guy Elam here with the Misfits. So we got to talk about some winning, and that's what the Los Angeles Clippers has done as of late. The Los Angeles Clippers are on a 4-game winning streak, playing some inspired basketball. They just knocked off the Detroit Pistons. And Elam, they're not just out here beating bums like a lot of people feel like earlier in the year the Lakers got away with beating on some scrubs. They're out here beating up on some really good team. They beat the Lakers. They beat the Rockets. Now you beat Detroit. You go to Portland, who has been tough at home this season. You beat them pretty good. And Kawhi Leonard had the game of his career, 55 points, career high scoring against Detroit, 11 rebounds with that. He's looking very spry. I hate to say this because I'm a Zubac fan, but since he's been out these past 4 games, and Brook Lopez, who came off a 9 3-pointer game, knocking down 9 against Portland, it's opened the floodgates for Kawhi and James to really go attack and score the way that they want to. Good, and I've been telling people all throughout the building while we're there covering the games.
Trade them.
Defense.
Trade them.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to.
Okay.
Listen, not just for this year. You don't have a first-round pick, and Zubac is your best opportunity to try to recoup and some semblance of first-round like talent. Like, who do you trade him to? I don't know, but I need at least 1 first round in return. But this team has been playing some inspired ball. Shout out to both of us. We were in the building yesterday. You were there reporting. It was sniper season for me, so I was in there, shooting my hearts, my heart, my heart out. But yeah, man, I think I like the Clippers better for a different reason without Zubac. I think the offense flows a lot more, and without Zubac really holding down the paint, it just seems like everybody's more locked into like their defensive rotations and defensive assignments, and they're playing far more connected defense. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It's the Clippers, bro.
You only give up 99 points, like in today's era of basketball.
That's like scoring 76.
Man, yeah, that's really good, and that's what they did against a young Detroit team that's one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. At one point, Cade Cunningham, he finished with 27, but all of that was in the second half. He had 0 points at halftime, which was very impressive.
Kawhi was giving him fits, bro.
Fits. And that's why a game like yesterday has Clipper fans feeling some type of way, because they like, damn it, when he's healthy and he's playing, he can be one of the top 5 guys in the league.
That's the caveat. That's the caveat.
Man,
how many games are you gonna get? How many games are you gonna get out of Kawhi? 50 at most. You're not getting more than 50 games. So you gotta hope within that 50 that you win. I say like 85% of those, and you are able to still, maybe 10, 15 games out of the remaining 32. Like, is that enough? Is that enough? It's not enough.
His job is to be available and play well. And, you never want to start off the way that they are. I believe they're 10-21. You don't want to start off like that. But maybe this might be a little spark to light something under a Kawhi and James Harden. Like, y'all can't just coast through this season. Last year, Norman Powell was huge. All-star level performance throughout the year. Zubac was all NBA type of performances last year. You're not getting that. So y'all have to be greater as far as Harden and Kawhi earlier and start to get things going. And it's like they kind of taking heed to that. They got Sacramento. They got Utah at home their next 2 games, which they should be favored in. So if they can push this to 6-game winning streak, like, they're only like 3 games back from the 10th seed, There's a lot of season left. You get on a nice winning streak, you're right there. And they can possibly.
How many times do you anticipate Kawhi Leonard going for 55?
I don't think he can get 55 a lot, but defensively, I think that they can put forth the effort. Because they were without
Kawhi Leonard, his knee turns into jello after he exerts any type of real energy, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is not gonna happen. It's
fresher the braids, the better the J's. He's knocking them down.
No, bro. You know why? He's knocking them down? Because everybody knows what he says now when he's playing. Wet ball. So it's wet ball.
So right now,
expect somebody on the wall or in the stadium to have a sign that says wet ball. The next Clipper home game.
They might get a bucket, and once he make a few jumpers, they're gonna pour water on them, and they're gonna have somebody dressed as a ball, and they're gonna pour water on them and say wet ball. I think
that's a little corny.
They're corny. That's what they do at the wall. They do some corny stuff. But right now, the Clippers actually sit 2.5 games from the 10th spot, 5.5 from 9. And 6 games from the
play-in. That's a W. That's a W.
Yeah, they can at least get to the play-in, and it's a lot of NBA season left. So shout out to the Clippers. They're finally playing. I came into the year saying, man, they're gonna win 50 games like last season once they get together.
I told you they weren't.
Really didn't happen.
I told you they weren't.
But now they're playing better. You're hearing more positive talk from them about them compared to what you hear about the Lakers, even though the Lakers are 20-10. And we got to talk about the Lakers, who have just knocked off the poorly Sacramento Kings. Hey, let me say this to you guys out there, for you guys putting teams together in the NBA. Stop going to pick up names if the games don't fit. That's exactly what the Kings have done. You got Russ, you got DeMar, Sabonis, you got Monk, you got Levine.
Zach
And
LaVine.
it's like cool names, right? But they don't fit together. That's why you aren't winning basketball games. You have the worst record in the Western Conference.
I would give away the game that, rest in peace, the logo gave to me in terms of how to design and build, a perpetual contender.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm
not for the
Kings. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket.
But the Lakers, man, they played yesterday too. For people who didn't know, they were able to pick up a win. They announced it at 20-10. Of course, no Austin Reeves for a month. That sucks. The guy was playing at an all-star level. So get well soon, AR.
Hey, that actually helps the Lakers. You know why?
Why is that?
Because he won't be able to make an All-NBA team.
No, I know.
If he's not able to make an All-NBA team, he can't get the Supermax.
Yeah. So in the long run, if the thought is that him and Luka can be your duo, yes. But for this season, now that puts more on the plate of LeBron James, who's going to be turning 41. Next time we see him play on the basketball court, he's going to be a 41-year-old playing for the Lakers. He had 24 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. I liked, like, if you were watching this game, I was kind of like double dipping. He wasn't overly aggressive. He kind of just played within the offense and let the offense come to him because
that's got all we've needed. Yeah. That's all we've needed.
All the Lakers need. Nick Smith Jr. had more shots than him. Of course, Luka, he only had 3 more shots than Rui and only 4 more shots than DeAndre Ayton. And that's what works for the Lakers. Like, I know LeBron wants to get stats, get his numbers. It's not what this team needs. They have a guy that's going to do a lot with the basketball. We need this ball to be moving so that others can touch it as well and get their confidence going, because right now the Lakers are 6-5 since the return of LeBron James. Before him, they were what, 15-5, which was 15-4, which was really good. So it's like, if things start to go wrong, the first person you're going to look at is LeBron James. And I hate that, like, you like to call them the Church of Bron. Y'all want to nitpick on anything with LeBron. No, we saw this team play peak performance basketball, and we were like, yo, this team might be much better than what we thought. And when the other guy comes back, they fall apart.
No, what happened is JJ Redick called it out on Saturday. I was there at practice. He said it boiled down to 3 things, role clarity, organization, offensive organization, role clarity, and defensive clarity.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I can point to LeBron in all 3 buckets. Role clarity. Hey, LeBron, we need you to be the number 3 option. Defensive clarity. LeBron James is the worst. Don't believe me? Go to NBA.com, go to stats, go to teams, go to defensive, and you'll see LeBron James is the worst defensive player on the Lakers team. He's worse than Luka Doncic. And then
don't let them off the hook. Don't let them off the hook, because Luka and Austin Reeves, when they go on the court,
I'm not saying that all world. I'm not saying that all
they
got
to be much better, because
Luka, but I think Luka, rightfully so, maybe you could have a debate.
Is just effort for Luka. I don't expect
Luka is he doesn't have the athletic talent. And I think the Lakers are lacking the offensive. They're lacking athleticism, right? But defense, so much comes down to communication and effort. And that is something that has been lacking. And it's crazy because I asked, DeAndre Ayton, he was talking about accountability. I'm like, okay, well, what does accountability look like and mean to you? And he was talking about, it starts with myself. And I'm waiting to hear, hey, I got to go to my teammate and say, hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. And shout out to Dan Wojcicki of The Athletic. He asked, he was like, do you have the cachet in the locker room to go up to a LeBron James and say, hey, you're not handling your defensive assignment? And he was like, everybody has a role. I got to understand the role that I need to play, but he essentially said he didn't have a problem, you know what I'm saying, like having conversations and talking to guys. Like it's open communication. But that's the thing. I'm looking for somebody to step up and challenge LeBron. Now, I don't know if that's JJ, because when I went to practice, neither LeBron nor Luka were on the court at that time. Now, I'm not saying that anything was said, because that didn't happen, you know, from my vantage point. Neither was JJ Redick there. So he could have potentially been talking to him behind the scenes. And I do know that they were drug testing that day. So it's, you know, also possible that they went to go, you know, take their drug test. But somebody has to hold LeBron James accountable. Like on the defensive end. On the defensive end.
And
on the defensive end.
I want to kill this off right now. I know later on we're gonna go into, you know, we're going to a new year and talk about narratives that need to die. For people saying, man, he's 41. He's 41. Bro, he is an NBA player getting paid $50 million this year to play. If you are on the court playing 25 plus minutes, which he is, you need to be putting the effort towards defense.
You have to play
because
defense.
it's a part of it. Unless you're going to come out here and having 50 points a game with 10 assists and 10 rebounds, maybe I'll give you a pass. But other than that, we need Luka, we need Bron, we need a healthy AR to put forth effort on defense to help this team be all that.
I hate that narrative, man. I hate that. And this is why I think so many fans are starting to become disenchanted with the game of basketball. There's so much, if it's like overemphasis on offense and there's no defense being played. There's no effort. Growing up, if you didn't play defense, you didn't play.
I never heard of a two-way player. I never heard of a two-way player.
You were just a basketball player.
Yeah, basketball player. You had to do both. Steve Nash wasn't a great defender, but he had to put up some effort to help that team do what they do. You know what I'm saying? And same for AI. And AI will tell you I'm not the greatest of defenders, but I put
forth like the league in steals.
Huh?
AI led the league in steals.
Yeah. So that's the effort that he needed. But for the Lakers, I don't think that like a win like this, it looks good, it's nice, any win matters. But for us going forward, viewers, fans, journalists, everyone is just going to look at this team and see what they do against the good teams in the NBA. And that's why a win like this is cool.
You're supposed to beat the bad teams.
That's you're supposed to beat them. Yeah.
Like I don't trip when they beat the Clippers, even though they lost. I don't trip when they beat, you know, Portland or
the Pelicans.
The Pelicans. It's like, dude, you're supposed to win that game. Like, I want to see you show up against OKC. I want to see what you do against the Spurs. I want to see what you do against Detroit. Like, show me something.
And they got that. Yeah, they got that coming up. They got Detroit on Tuesday tomorrow. NBC game, Peacock. And then you have two home games, Friday, Sunday against Memphis. Then you go to the Pelicans. You got San Antonio, Milwaukee. So they got those 1, 2, 3 games there that you're going to be like, let's see what they do, especially against the Spurs. I know the Spurs lost tonight versus Atlanta, but you know they're always tough. But for the Lakers, it's going to be about defense and just beating these teams that we see. They're clearly more athletic, but can you still find a way to win? That's the questions that are going to be asked. So shout out to them.
My expectations for the Lakers, bro, are tempered. Like, the Lakers are not going on a championship run. If the Lakers make the finals, bro, I'll cut my hair.
Bro, like, they're not going to the finals. I told you
exactly my point.
We have said it for years. The Lakers won't win another title until
as long as LeBron.
So they got to get more pieces with that 51 million. They got to get younger and more athletic. But hey, they're winning games. They're 20-10. They're top 6 in the Western Conference. Let's see what they can do. Tuesday night.
Hey, while we're on hoops, I saw something on Twitter, man, that I thought was funny, bro.
What's that?
I know producer Ben is gonna be like, Eric, what are you doing? I'm about to go left. We're taking a detour. Hey, I thought it was comical. An all-white NBA franchise starting 5.
I saw that.
Who would your all-white starting 5 be?
My all-white starting 5. Sheesh. Let me go. I'm gonna go.
Oh, look at producer Ben.
Okay, Ben. Hey, my
Okay,
sixth man would be Ben. My sixth man would be Ben Pap. That's my sixth man. But I'm going. I like Stockton, but I'm gonna go Steve Nash. I'm gonna go Nash. At my two, I will probably have to go. I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go Peja Stojakovic.
At the two?
I'm gonna go Peja at the 2. Then I'm gonna go Larry Legend at the 3. And then I like the rest of it. I like Dirk. I like Jokic as my 5. But that's how I would switch. Cause Nash, I have the ball. I put him around all shooting. And then when we need a bucket, I can go through Larry. I can go through Dirk. And then you got Jokic. Like, we gonna be passing. Luka be holding that rock, man. You know what I feel about Luka.
Are you telling me you're getting ready to take the NBA's all-time assist leader and replace him with Steve Nash?
Yeah, I'm taking Steve
Nash. Man, you
Nash.
off that Riri, bro. You smoking.
I'm taking Nash.
Listen, give me John Stockton. I'm taking Luka Doncic off, and I'm putting the logo on there. Give me Jerry West. Jerry West with Larry the Legend. Good luck. That's 1, 2, 3 that can shoot the lights out, pass the ball. They all are competitive. You know, Luka is a cone drill. I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, oh, I can.
Hey, John Stockton, you take a hit with shooting though. He wasn't the best. He's a solid shooter. Steve Nash is one of the greatest shooters of all times,
bro. John Stockton was one of the better shooters of his time. You got to take into consideration they weren't shooting threes at the clip that Mike D'Antoni was. John Stockton was not a slouch with his shot, bro. And
he was okay.
Listen to me. John Stockton, if you give him a sliver of daylight, he's getting the ball to you. He is a superior passer than Nash. Yes.
I don't know about that.
You are crazy.
They're about equal. Nash didn't
No, they're not equal. John Stockton might not give you the flash, but I'm talking about pure bounce pass, chest pass. The ball needs to go here on the line. John Stockton is the best passer, bro.
We running and gunning. Steve Nash.
Listen. John Stockton, Jerry West, Larry the Legend. I give you Dirk, and I'm kind of torn. I'm kind of torn at the 5. I'm kind of torn at the 5. It's so easy to say Nikola Jokic. What you
talking about?
But Arvydas Sabonis was Nikola Jokic before Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, but he was that wasn't in the NBA. Now he came older to the league. If you don't know, go look him up. Portland Trailblazer legend. But you're crazy. It's Jokic at the 5 for the fair.
I'll go either or. Okay. Either or. But, I can't get mad at Arvydas Sabonis, but I'm not gonna get mad at Nikola Jokic either.
Yeah. Hey, so I hope you guys out there are tapping in to these NBA games. A lot of good action. College hoops is going up, ladies, men. It's a lot of good things going up there. But we want to close up with football here. To keep it sports and take away from LA. Week 17 just happened. We're heading into the final week. Winners and losers, of course, you got to show love to the Eagles. They went into Buffalo, knocked off Josh Allen, pretty much dominated most of the game, especially on the defensive end. Shout out to them. A lot of people felt Buffalo was going to get them, but Philly are showing like, hey, we are still the defending champion. If anybody knows how to turn it on and make a Super Bowl run, we've done it.
Do you really believe in Philly? Because look, that was a tell. It looked like 2 totally different teams. First half, second half. Jalen Hurts playing under center. He's running play action. The offensive, the run game was moving. Jalen Hurts was throwing tight window passes in between the numbers, intermediate routes. Yeah. I was like, oh my goodness.
He looking different.
And then the second half happened, and then you reverted back to Jalen Hurts. And I was
that's coaching. They got to see what worked and be like, this we going with. But that's what's so deadly with them is that you have Saquon. That defense is picking it up at the right time. If Jalen Hurts can do enough like he did last season, if that defense can carry, they can get back to the Super Bowl. They can easily be the number 2 seed at the end of week 18 to where you're like, if one of the top seeds slip up, now they got home field in the conference championship. So the Eagles are a team that I don't think that we should just push to the side. I don't think they're going to get back, but if it were to happen, I can't be shocked because they have what it takes as far as they have a running back that can run the ball. When they get that going, they're tough. Their defense is tough at every level. And if Jalen Hurts, he's always the wild card. If he can play well, they can beat anybody. And that's what it's going to come down to. But that was a nice.
Come playoff time, Jalen Hurts is going to turn into Jalen Dirts, man. You know, it's not going to be good for the Philly fans.
Hey, shout out to, of course, your 49ers. Sunday night victory. 42,
hey man, under the radar. We not talking about the 40,
now.
We not talking about the 49ers. They're banged up. They got Mr. Irrelevant at quarterback.
Hey, I see what you try to do. He's
only carried by, you know, his supporting cast. You have Christian McCaffrey. You know, you got Trent Williams there. You got Kyle Shanahan. He's just a cog in the system, bro. You know, you could play quarterback for the 49ers and look this good.
I agree with that. I agree with that part, but they still are well coached. They have a really, you know, really good weapons that are helping them out. You got McCaffrey when Kittle is healthy.
Hey, who name three of the weapons? Name three of the weapons that they have.
Kittle, McCaffrey. I like Demarcus Robinson. I like 50 Cent. 50 Cent is a guy.
You're calling Demarcus Robinson a weapon?
He's a guy that he's a Super Bowl champion. He can make a play here or there. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him make some plays, and then the defense are doing just enough. I don't think they're going to make a Super Bowl run.
What defense? The 49ers are last. The
49ers
are last in the league in freaking sacks, bro. Yeah. There's no pressure. They're not getting to the quarterback.
All it takes is getting hot for 3 games, and you look up, and it may not even be 3 if they're the number 1 seed for 2 games, bro. And you're in the Super Bowl.
Listen, I told one of the homies, I said, if the 49ers can force 3 punts a game, bro, just 3. I didn't say sacks. I didn't say turnovers. If they can force 3 punts a game, the 49ers can win any game. They just need the defense to force 3 punts.
I know I like to give them a hard time, but shout out to Brock Purdy. Like, that was the best game I seen him play as a pro. The guy was doing what he had to do and getting rid of the football. Shout out to Coach Shanahan because he puts him in a
Coach of the year.
Yeah, he has to be. He has to be. But shout out to the Niners. I usually don't shout out losers, but shout out to the Raiders.
I was about to say, you got to shout out to the Raiders. They were one step closer to the number 1. It's gonna be so funny if they win the last game of the season, bro.
Against the Chiefs,
I am going to die of laughter. If I'm Andy Reid, I lose. I find a way to lose it.
But now, after seeing like highlights of the Giants Raiders, the Raiders are clearly trying to lose. Like, we want to get the first pick and be able to have get the best available guy. So shout out to them. Losers, I will say, other than like the Chargers, the Rams, of course, the Broncos. I know they won on Christmas night versus the Chiefs, but to be playing against the third string players of the Chiefs and only walk away with a 20-13 win, they look very nasty, and a team that I can't count on to make I just don't believe that Bo Nix and that offense is good enough to go and beat Buffalo and beat the Patriots, things like that. Because if we're going to make a winner, shout out to Drake May, 5 touchdown passes thrown, like he did his part. But yeah, the Broncos just don't look as strong as I expect.
I'm giving you those Steelers out in Pittsburgh. You lose to the lowly Browns in a game that if you win, you punch your ticket to the playoffs. Yeah. Now you are in a winner takes all division, game with the Ravens. Yeah. The loser of this game, the coach is getting fired at the end of the game.
John Harbaugh gets fired?
I think whoever loses, John Harbaugh or Mike Tomlin, they are getting fired.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised. I suspect. This is not no insider information. This is what I suspect. This is what I think.
Okay, that's for John to get fired. I'm like, they dealt with so many injuries. I'm like, I don't think this is the season to do it. The Broncos are shaky. Shout out to the chat. They said the Broncos are shaky. I'm with that. But week 18 is gonna be fun. Saturday starts it all off. You got win or go home, or you got divisional championship games. You got Panthers at Buccaneers. Winner wins the NFC South. Seahawks.
Who you got in that game? Who do you have in that game?
I'm gonna go with the home team, man. I think the Buccaneers have had their struggles.
I'm going Carolina. JC Horn is gonna pick Baker off at least once.
They've been struggling. That's what scares me. They've been struggling, but I'm like, it can't get any worse than what we've seen these last couple weeks, right? So if it was in Carolina, easy Carolina. But I think that Tampa Bay finds a way.
Bryce Young's throwing for like 275 and 30,
I would love to see it. I would love to see it. I would love to see Bryce Young in the playoffs. That'd be dope. That'd be really cool to see. So then, of course, you finish that Saturday night, Seahawks at 49ers.
Who you got in that game?
I'm going to go with the road team on that one. I think Seahawks going to find a way to win. Their defense is a little better than you guys, and I think that they can make just enough stops. I'm looking at the injury report. Is Kittle playing or not? If Kittle is playing, it's going to be different. But if he's not playing, I think they're going to do a better job.
How many games has Brock Purdy lost to the Seahawks?
Not many, but this will be one of them if George Kittle isn't there, for sure.
Hey, I'm going with the team that's under the radar, bro.
Okay, I like it. What else? And then like you said, we finish up with the Ravens Steelers for that division.
Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Steelers at home. Does Lamar need to play?
He's not playing. He's not.
Yeah,
but they got Huntley. Huntley can operate that offense.
Yeah,
I'm going with the Ravens on that one.
It's so crazy because it's the same way I look at with Josh Allen, with Mahomes, and even with Lamar Jackson. You have Derrick Henry. Why they haven't played this entire year saying you're the best guy on the team? We're playing through you. And you saw, I know Green Bay wasn't really playing for anything, because they already set in stone at that 7th spot. But for you not to be giving the ball to Derrick Henry as many times as they did against the Green Bay Packers the whole season. I know Lamar Jackson is a pretty toy to have, but you got to run the football when you got the type of back they do.
The thing is, Lamar Jackson has, I don't want to say he's refused to run the football, but he has made it a concerted effort to stay in the pocket and be a pocket passer. Same thing as Jalen Hurts. It's like, dude, your legs are a weapon. The offense opens up exponentially when you run. So run the ball. If it's there, take it.
They don't want to get hit. They're like, man, I don't want to. I'm trying to play as long as I can.
Listen, that's how you became a household name, by running the ball. So trying to do something different, it's not gonna yield the same type of results, bro. That hasn't been the strength of your game.
It's gonna be a fun week 18 as always. See how the draft picks gonna line up, who's gonna punch their spot into what slot in the playoffs. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. But we got more football action, man. The college football playoff is returning. Of course, there's more college football bowls. We're gonna be in San Diego. What's that? The January 2nd?
Yeah, Friday.
Friday for the Holiday Bowl, but people don't care about none of that. It's college football playoff week. Week 2, we got the Rose Bowl. We got some really good action going on. So, Elam, what's your thoughts on week 2 of the college football playoffs? What are you looking forward to?
Wheat from the chaff, man. The pretenders from the contenders. I think now is the time that you really, get an opportunity to see who's going to advance to the semifinals. I still think Ohio State is going to, run it back. They're going to be the first repeat in the CFP. I think Ohio State is getting ready to go off. I think Georgia is getting ready to go off. But that's it. To me, it's a 2-team race, bro. I as good as Indiana has been, I'm not going to be surprised if they lose this first game.
Okay.
Their first game.
This because it's a big spot for them. You know, like Alabama's been there. I like Oregon over Texas Tech. I think that they find a way to beat them. Dante Moore is going to end up a top 5 pick probably in NFL. He has all the ability. I think they're going to do their thing. Like I'm with you. I'm like, let's see what the Heisman winner can do. But just Alabama has athletes. They've been there before. They know what it takes. So like I can see them winning. And then same thing. I think Georgia knocks off Ole Miss to make things happen there. And then Wednesday, Miami, Ohio State. I think Ohio State are going to do their thing too. But it's that time of the year, man. I'm just happy to see the best teams play each other. Like I said last week, the last 2 weeks, I don't want to see the scrubs of the playoffs like James Madison and Tulane.
James Madison lost by 17. They were supposed to lose by 20. They beat the spread.
I don't care about
listen, bro. With better shout out to UCLA, man. Shout out to UCLA.
It was boring, but college football playoffs gonna go up. I can't wait. Before we switch gears away from sports, USC, the Alamo Bowl, like they're actually playing TCU. Does that mean anything at all? And what are you looking forward to from the Trojans in the Alamo Bowl?
Is your cousin playing? Is like who's returning, man? Who's coming back? That's what I'm looking to see. Who's returning? What guys have been buried, on the depth chart that are going to, come out and ball out, man. It's TCU, USC. But D'Anton Lynn left to go to Penn State. So that presents a huge opportunity for somebody or a huge chasm because as it's currently constructed, their defense is poo cheese. And D'Anton Lynn did not look good as a play caller this year. So I'm looking at the defense.
Change. Yeah, I'm gonna look at the defense.
I'm looking at the defense.
I want to see some of the young players get out there, get their opportunity because you make plays in this game. This is your jump start to next season, to training camp and spring football and things like that. So this is your game. We saw Miller Moss in San Diego go crazy, which earned him a year as a starter that following year. So hopefully these young Trojan players take this game as an advantage to say, I'm going to get myself a head start on any freshmen coming in, any transfer that's coming in, and we're going to try to ball out. And then, for USC, they just want to pick up this victory. They're in the news with the whole Notre Dame debacle and things like that. You want to kind of shut some of that up by just winning this game and then handle the talks of that after.
I mean, the team, the culprit, they're not playing in a bowl game. They took their ball and decided to go home. So that tells me everything that I need to. USC, they should. I think I have to look at the spread, but I think they should beat TCU handily. I think.
Yeah, definitely with Jaden playing. Is Mykell playing? Mykell?
I'm not sure.
Mykell
is already declared.
No, Jacoby
is declared.
Jacoby
is declared. Yeah.
So yeah, young guys.
But you got Tanuk. You got Tanuk. He's a burner. Yeah. So we'll see.
We'll see. So hey, college football is still rolling. Bowl games are going. The playoffs are picking back up. So it's fun times if you are a college football fan. If you're a football fan, period. Fantasy championships, playoffs. You got NFL, college football. It's lit right now. So shout out to you.
You know what we need to do next year? We need to have a misfit fantasy football league.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
I'm with that. Yeah. I'm with it. Yeah. So be on the lookout next year. If you want to join, remember, hit us up while you're watching the show, YouTube. You can hit us in the chat.
You can hit us on X.
Comment. Yeah, hit us on X. Our Sporting Tribute fam, tap in with us. Let us know what you guys think. Do y'all want to be a part of our fantasy football next year?
If you know more ball than me. Listen, I do this for real.
Hey, I go crazy in fantasy. If it wasn't for injuries, I would have won my league. I only play one league.
You see that? If this, I would have. You sound like the second place champ, bro. You sound like
this my LeBron year because shout out to our guy, the chat producer Ben. That's you talking about he won his league. All right. I won 4 out of the last 7 years in my fantasy league.
Yeah, bro, you playing like little kids, bro. You playing like your little cousins that don't know football, bro. Step up to the big boy leagues.
Shout out to we're gonna have to do that. That's gonna be fun. But as you know, here with the Misfits Live, Mykell, Mathieu, Lamb squared. We're more than just a sports show. We talk what's hot. We talk what needs to be talked about, and we got some things we want to discuss. So, producer Ben, I want to see which way should we go first. Maybe we talk about what's going on with sports journalism, right?
Nah, man. No. As we close out the year, man, we looking at 2025. What are some of the things that you want to leave in 2025? What are some of the narratives? What are some of the sayings? What are some of the trends that you want to leave in 2025?
So I want to leave behind this whole Chiefs talk, right? I know the taxes with the taxes situation is crazy. The way that they get away, like, because I'm tapped into that Chief community. A lot of fans are ripping the Clark Hunt because of the move from Kansas City, Missouri to Kansas City, Kansas. We were out there. That's where 5-Star E got his name. And we see the borderline between the two. It's not that far. Like, it's not too crazy. And the fans in Missouri had an opportunity. It was on a ballot to
why should taxpayers carry the brunt of building a stadium if they don't get any of the income coming in from the stadium?
Because they already know that the Hunt family only makes their money through the Chiefs. Like, they're not like Jerry Jones.
Mykell, they're the 12th wealthiest family in the U.S.
You're talking about billing. You're giving. Listen to this. You want welfare. You want corporate handouts for billionaires. They have billions.
You from the same area I'm from, and you know that pimping ain't easy. If you can pimp your way,
I'm not trying to get pimped, bro. I'm not trying to get pimped.
They not pimping us. So we're here in LA.
You want to build a new stadium? You build it on your own dime. Don't take my money. Don't take my money.
But
I'm not getting. Listen,
in these Chiefs communities, Elam,
a totally different story.
In these
if
Chiefs communities, in these Chiefs community, you've been hearing for years. Oh, the Chiefs need to upgrade this. They need to do that. They need to do this, that, and the other. So Clark Hunt, like, oh, so y'all really want to help? This is what we have. This will be a great plan we feel can help if y'all want to do so.
This is the most unjournalistic take I've ever heard about this. The financing they're using for this is borderline illegal in multiple states. It's called the TIF. And what it does is it assumes that they're going to bring in new revenue, right? It will split into 2 revenue paths. And we're going to raise the property value and sales tax, which isn't usually true for stadiums. It doesn't do any of that. There's no economic benefit, been proven multiple times over now. And they put it on the taxpayers through a tax incentive. It's complete BS.
But
what ends up happening, you go to sleep one night, your property taxes are $4,000 for the year. You wake up and they've doubled. Now you're on the hook for $8,000. So you got to think about we're living in an economy where more people are exponentially losing jobs, right?
Yeah.
Inflation is going up. We're getting ready to have economic easing take place at the top of the year, which means the dollar is going to be worth even less, right? And so middle-class families, you see it shrinking. I'm not trying to pay for all that, bro.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm on the side of the good guy, but I know how this system works.
You think the Hunt family are the good guys?
No, I don't think they're the good guys.
You're the type of person. See, this is why I don't like Batman. Batman is a billionaire. Is a billionaire. Yet he rides around the city beating up poor people, bro.
But this is what the rich do. Like, I'm not gonna act like
it's
I'm
not
shocked.
a good thing. It's not a good thing.
I'm not saying it's good.
Are we celebrating this?
No,
There's
I'm not.
nothing good about this deal.
This
they
is
screwed
what
over the taxpayers in Kansas.
Mykell, you the type of person that be like, hey, trickle down economics is a good thing.
Hey, I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying this is what these rich people have done for years.
What are you trying to say?
My God.
They are not.
I'm gonna have to get you some economic books to read, bro.
Let me tell you,
I'm gonna have to get you some economic books to read.
They're like, hey, they found a way to pimp the system. I'm not a fan of it, but it happens.
But you are. You literally
defending it right now.
Hey, it leads to a brand new stadium that the fans have
that
been
no
like,
one needs. They don't need it.
They don't
benefit from cheap.
Hey, you pay to build it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get no money kicked back, in any type of tax break.
All of
you as a taxpayer are paying for it, and guess what? You have to pay to utilize it.
No, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it.
No,
I just see that the Clark Hunt family is like, we're going to use our name, our relationship to pimp this.
Sell more ketchup.
It's everything wrong with America this year. Is this stadium deal?
It happens. So I can't
you lost cool points with me, bro.
I'm saying it happened. It shouldn't happen.
E40. And it
shouldn't happen, but
you lost cool
you
points
keep defending it though. You keep saying this is what
crazy,
they do.
Kels.
No,
you
be mad
crazy,
about this.
Bro.
You should be mad about this.
You're crazy.
Hey, when they name a suite after me at the new Arrowhead, y'all gonna think differently.
You're gonna have
to
pay for it.
The bathroom there.
You're gonna have to pay for it.
I live in California, so I'm good.
No, in order for them to name a suite after you, you would have to pay for it.
No, I got an inside guy.
Mykell, the greater picture here is that maybe it's happening in Kansas now. They're gonna try it in California, and when it's on your tax bill,
hopefully we don't
vote about it.
Hopefully we don't vote to approve it.
There was no vote in Kansas.
No, I know in Missouri. In Missouri, there was. So
there was no vote in
Kansas. But
guess
what? The stadium is not getting built in Missouri. It's getting built in Kansas.
So it's a lot of dirty play at work.
It's politics.
Childish Gambino told us before, this is America. But let's get back to the narrative, man. Narrative. So that's one of it, because the Chiefs fans, blah blah blah. We'll see, because the mayor of Missouri came out and said he's going to do his best.
The mayor of Missouri or the governor of Missouri?
Governor. There we go. I said mayor. The governor of Missouri said he's going to try his best to fight this. So don't just accept that the Chiefs are gone from the Missouri side. So we'll see.
Money talks, bro. Money talks. BS walks.
Yeah, but narratives. Let's get back to that. Narratives that you hope to see.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something that I gotta see left in 2025, bro.
Okay.
I spend a lot of time researching online. Looking for like obscure facts, figures, stats. It baffles me how many times I see women on social media, and the first thing that they do, they don't even open their mouth. You know what they do? They just turn around and just start twerking, bro. Like and it's not just women of certain persuasions. They don't just look like one race, one creed. It's every last one, bro. Let's leave twerking in 2025. Like, if you don't have anything more, if you don't have any substance, like, stay off my timeline, man. Stay off my timeline.
People gonna hate me for this, but I love you ladies out there. But the BBLs, man, I think it's that time, man. Like, it's like, a girl got a BBL because they want to flaunt it every time they get an opportunity on social media, to where you just like. And it's like, as a guy who likes natural, like, women,
I just want to run behind it and stab it and just see what oozes out, bro.
But like, I think that trend, I can't wait for that to die down. Work out, be fit. If you got a cool little shape,
you got a little one, you gotta own it.
Work with it. But out there faking the funk and looking like an alien when people
looking like letter P's and Q's.
Man, looking like ants. Remember the Ants movie? Go look at it. That's what it's looking like. I hope that dies down. And then another thing, because I know you're going to mention GOAT in sports, and which it goes sports music as well. But the term classic, like the
overused, bro,
overuse of classic when it comes to music. Everybody that an album can be really good, it don't make it a classic. Classic are albums that really
what constitutes a classic for you?
An album that truly shift the culture. You know what I'm saying? Of course, sales are a part of it. But sometimes it might not be the highest selling, especially off the bat. It might catch on later. But if it shifts the culture to where everybody is talking about this album and that carries on for a year or more, that's what makes it that. Like some album, like for example, huge Kendrick Lamar fan. You have an album like Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Really good album. I don't think it's a classic.
It's not a classic.
It's really good. But people,
it's a good album.
Some people who are fans throw out, oh man, he got another classic. I'm like, it's not a classic. Drake, right? You have an album like Certified Lover Boy, not a classic album. Good album, cool album, not a classic album. And I just think that like we need to really get back to. That's how I missed the 5 mics of the source that really help with that. But we need to get to a place to where we can like, yo, this is classic. This is really good. A classic album is a 9.5 to 10 album. Then you got a great album.
Classic is something that has rewindability 5 years later, at least 5 years. 5 years, 10 years is something that you can, you look back to 20 years down the line and you can still recall. Like, yo, I remember the first time I heard this. You know what I'm saying? Like it evolved.
But I think like instant impact as well, because like you look at Get Rich or Die Trying, what it did, the Marshall Mathers LP.
I was in Iraq. But see, look, Get Rich or Die Trying, I was in Iraq when that dropped. You know what I'm saying? So I'm riding around Iraq. It's, Iraqis coming up to me. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your. They didn't know no other. They didn't know none of the words. It's undeniable. It's undeniable impact.
And it's a lot of rappers, a lot of like even on the singing R&B and pop, whatever side, there's really good albums, but they weren't classics. So we need to throw that to the side, like ease up on that. You said the GOAT talk. I want to hear this because I'm with you on that.
I think one of the most overused terms in sports and just culture is GOAT. Oh, he's a baby GOAT. He's the GOAT of his generation. He's one of the GOATs. Listen, greatest singular of all time. So it's an all-encompassing phrase. Greatest of all time. So it doesn't matter if you are 25 years old and you have won 3 titles in your first 7 years. That doesn't make you the GOAT. The GOAT, Jerry Rice, is the GOAT. Period. He's the greatest receiver and arguably the greatest football player of all time. He had 2 distinct Hall of Fame careers. Greatest of all time, barring no one, right? If we're talking MCs, right? You could say Jay-Z's the GOAT. Some say Kool G Rap is the GOAT. Some people say Tupac is the GOAT.
Biggie.
Listen, that's where you can have this debate. When it comes to basketball, and I know I'm getting ready to piss off the Church of Brian, so all you Cardinals, bishops, and the Pope himself, listen, the greatest of all time is Michael Jeffrey Jordan. And the only other person that I would put in that conversation is Kobe Bean Bryant. That's where it stops.
I like that. No,
it's not. Let's leave this whole multi-GOAT dialogue and discourse in 2025.
No, I'm with you because we get that with the GOAT. Oh, he's the GOAT point guard. He's the GOAT. Like when you gonna use the term, let somebody's career play out. You got people out here saying, "Is Jokic the GOAT center?" You got to see the rest of his career. If he ends up with 1 championship, no, he's not the greatest center of all time. Kareem has 6. Shaq has 4. Dream has 2, really tough ones that he got. Like, let stuff play out before just throwing this GOAT term out. You can say that, hey, this guy is really good. I think maybe like the GOAT trend, but the trend of praising too early. Like I forgot the term that they use, but it's like what they call it. It's like this people who live stuck in today where they don't look at the totality. Recency bias. Here we go. Recency bias. Like the recency bias is worse than it's ever been because when it comes to music, comes to clothing, fashion, sports, whatever, the recency bias, like let things play out before we crown these people. People want to crown all SGA is already better than Kobe and things like that. SGA can get hurt tomorrow and never be the same. And
he could be Michael Redd. He could be Brandon Roy.
Yeah. Like, because and perfect example is a guy like Kawhi Leonard. He won with Toronto. You had idiots like Max Kellerman, who I like him in the boxing realm, but talking basketball, he's a little off.
Said that he was more clutch,
and he would take Kawhi Leonard's over Kobe Bryant to where I'm like, bro, let things play out before we crown these people, because that's why you have somebody in music like Drake who feel he can do with everything and is untouchable because people gave him the title like he was the it guy. Then once he gets smacked up, him and his fans can't let it go. And now, you know, they talk about hip hop the way that they do. So recency bias, I hope that
I gotta piggyback my last one. Well, yeah, two more.
Okay.
We gotta leave the term hating in 2025. I don't know when and where telling the truth made you a hater, but it's bonkers to me how you can tell somebody with stats, with logic, you know, with the real sound argument, and it's like if it doesn't coincide with their worldview and their prism, you are a hater. It's like, no, bro, I just see things differently, right? And it's not just relegated to sports, music, fashion, food, politics. Yeah. It's like, yo, bro, I'm not a hater. I just see things differently, and that's okay. We can agree to disagree because that's what makes the world as vibrant as it is that it's a kaleidoscope of personalities and perspectives.
Hey, let me step up because in the chat they said we got a fellow show called the Professional Hate Watchers. They just hate watching, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they're letting you know off the rip that we're watching it. We may not like this person, but we're just watching it because we want to find some things to hate on it. That's one thing. But when you're telling somebody, man, this guy can't shoot, you know, you've got force him all, you're a hater. He can shoot. Look at this game he made. But it's like, yeah,
look at his stats. Look at his field goal percentage. Yeah. And it's like, yo, bro, like it's devoid of all nuance.
And music,
all his shots came from 5 feet
from the basket. Hey, in music, another thing, you know, people say, oh, you just hate Drake. It's like, no, I'm being honest as somebody who's a fan that it's not the same. And that's another thing I want to leave behind is not a trend, but the narrative of this whole Drake and Kendrick thing that Drake, you know, Kendrick ruined hip hop and all that. No, Drake has taken a step back. He dropped more music than Kendrick Lamar in 2025. And other than Nokia, it didn't really stick. Everything else, people were like, oh, this is cool, but we didn't care about it. How you know? You can look at the charts. For Drake fans and stans who love the charts, his songs did not reach number one. His songs didn't stay in the top 10 because he just hasn't dropped the same type of heat that is expected of him. Can he change that perspective in 2026? Yes. But for them to come over and say Kendrick ruined hip hop like Drake wasn't dropping and didn't deliver is a narrative that I hope dies.
But I don't even understand the argument. How did he ruin hip hop? Because he made it about lyrics. It wasn't about like fashion.
You got guys like Jim Jones coming out and saying, "Oh yeah, see what Kendrick did." He can't do like Drake did. Drake was, you know, he had outside popping until Kendrick hated on him. It's like, no, Drake was falling off with the outside wasn't popping. His last number one hit was First Person Shooter. That wasn't no outside song. That was a hip hop song. So I just want people to stop any narrative about Drake. The idiots who are out there saying Drake won the battle and still posting Family Matters on X every day to try to convince the world. We heard the songs. He lost. He's not doing what he's supposed to be doing anymore. He can get back to it. Let's see. But we got to move on.
I got one for the little homies. I got one for the little homies, man. Let's stop referring to ourselves as YNs. You are not YNs. Hey, leave the drilling, leave the gunplay. Like, throw these, man. Real men throw these. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some, but you live to talk, you live to tell the story another day. Listen, bro. Any real fighter will tell you, hey, they done took an L or two. I done lost more than my fair share. It's far more people that can tell you that they got knocked out or Elam put them ones and twos on them, but it's a few people walking around the city like, oh, I beat Eric up. And guess what? Yeah, they did. But guess what, bro? I'm not ashamed of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna back down from nobody. Put the guns down, put the knives up, and if you got a dispute, handle them with these, man. Handle them with these. Hey, use first and foremost, use your intellect and your insight and your wisdom to have a conversation. Because 9 times out of 10, these disagreements are real petty. It can be settled if you guys just talk. But if you gotta go there, just throw the hands and let that be that.
Hey, and my final one that I hope that dies, and I don't want to see it at all. I hate it. It is very childish to me. 6'7", that's one for sure. I don't want to see 6'7". It's dumb. I don't want to see none of that. I let that go with the win. 6'7", put it to an end. But what I really want to die, that whole pause thing. Like, just talk. Like, I don't need you to say pause. People ain't trying to, like, you talking sports and you like, hey, that was some good D to cut off the baseline. Bro, that's sports talk, things like that. Let's be adults. I don't want to hear no pause. It's funny, but we had a year of it. Cool. Let's move on and let's get on to something else, man. So those are some trends. Let us know on social media. What do you guys think?
What are you leaving in 2025
that you hope that dies in 2025 while we move on to 2026? Because we're tired of it. So we got a local journalism story that's happened in Elam. Do we want to tackle the local sports coverage that's going on, because it's not just affecting here in LA, but it's affecting different places in the country when it comes to sports. So shout out to the Sporting Tribune earlier post. Local sports coverage is in a rough place right now. Most AP, like if you're looking at AP, it's just recaps, 300 words. There's no quotes. There's no things like that. The stuff that we grew up with as sports fans that will read these articles. And most of them is just not any coverage. Like we were talking about the Elam, like being with the Clippers yesterday. There wasn't an LA Times reporter there. There's certain things that just doesn't get the coverage. And you had UCLA's women coach who's like, hey, we got a top 25 game. Our team is top 5 in the country, and nobody's getting out there to cover. What do you feel about this whole situation, Elam? And what do you think is next?
It's a nuanced answer, man. Like, journalism is dying if it's not already dead. I think the bedrock of our democracy is rooted in public trust in the media. And there has been a ton of things that has happened that has eroded the public trust. But when it comes to like sports, like, man, the death of newspapers has really thwarted like the entire industry. It was crazy because months before I graduated from Annenberg, like LA Times cut people, New York Times cut people, Washington Post, what I'm saying, laid people off. So it was just like, you had all these journalists and aspiring journalists looking for jobs, and there's a dearth of them. And so it's just like, yo, you got to go with where the money is, and money is in like clips and highlights and virility. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like stories that take time to flesh out and do reporting and all that type of stuff. It takes time. It takes money. I love investigative journalism. But guess what? There's not a lot of money in it. Why? Because it takes time to do it, right? You got to build contacts. You got to build sources. You got to, like, you know, do your due diligence. But like with the advent of AI can write a 300-word story in no time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need quotes to tell a story. You just type in what happened in the box score and voila, you know. But it's kind of crazy, man, because like as a budding journalist here in LA, man, it's like there's not a lot of opportunities, and the opportunities that are presented, like, people want you to work for free. And it's like, if I'm just getting on and this is getting my foot in the door, you know, to catapult me into like other avenues, then yeah, I can see it. It makes sense. But like when people have seen your work and acknowledge your work and love your work and admire your work, and they're coming to you like, hey, I want you to cover UCLA women's basketball, but I can't pay you. It's like, dog, I'm not finna go do all this work for nothing and not get nothing for it. Like, it's still work at the end of the day.
Yeah, and some of these companies just like, they have to find a way to go, like, if you want this coverage, you can be the brand to do it. You got to find the income that can help, you know, these pay these fellow journalists like ourselves. And that's what it's about. Like, it's money out there. People just got to go, and like, these companies got to go and get them. And, you know, provided now more than ever, you can be the go-to for that content, right? So if you sending out, you know, there's nobody there for college women's basketball, your company can be that and go beyond if you can pay your reporter so that they don't have to work another job elsewhere to fully give the best coverage all year round for it. So it's a sad situation. And that's why, you know,
like an access, man. Like, as journalists, a lot of the teams, you know, I get it, man. Their job is to protect the brand, you know, their organization, so on and so forth, the players. But it's like, dude, like in the NBA, you're not really getting access to any of the players.
Nah, true.
And you getting even less access on the college campus. So it's like, what am I going up there for? Right? If I'm not really going to have an opportunity to talk to any players, and I've gotten chastised for reaching out to players, you know, in their DMs, like, just not asking them for anything salacious, but just like pitching them story ideas, like, hey, I would love to do a story about X, Y, and Z. Next thing you know, you got a sports information director calling your editor, like, why is he reaching out to players? It's like, yo, dog, I'm just trying to be a journalist. You know
it's and that's what I think. A lot of these, you got some organizations, they got younger people working in the PR slots who don't really understand old school form of journalism, to where, I need to go a little over and beyond because I'm trying to write this story the best way that I can. And you got to allow the journalist to be a journalist. So it's an industry that I think it's like trying to see which way is teetering on which way is going to go. That's why I always tell people it's great to write, but you got to also have a voice. You got to have a platform where that is shown as well, because, you know, that having a voice is just as big as anything. You know what I'm saying? And that's why
you got to be able to tell stories, man. I think with where the industry is heading,
entertain
like,
too.
it's cool. Is and that's part of storytelling. Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna speak for myself. I try to pull the 10 people that read my articles, you know what I'm saying, like, into the moment. I'm trying to create and set a scene. Like, I spend a lot of time pouring over, like, okay, what should I describe? Did I put too much on this? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I weave a story in the context of a game, right? And it takes time for me to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that you can just churn out in 20 minutes. Like, I need to sit and think, like, okay, does this make sense? How does this fit in the overall context, like, of the game? You saw me.
A major issue there is that a lot of these people, especially when it comes to something like sports and music, they don't want to think no more. They just want it to be something.
They want you to do all the heavy lifting for them.
Yeah, so that's why they just like, if you can entertain me, I can go back to that and see that because I was entertained. and people don't want to think. And I think that that's an issue to where, some of the writing don't get the respect that it used to, because people actually read and things like that. But it's going to be interesting, and that's why Pablo said what he said. Sports journalism is near to death. Truth is bad business. Like, yeah, that's why I'm always big, Elam. What do I always say? Entertain. Energy, having great energy and entertaining, because at the end of the day, I might not could tell you exactly what this person told me, but I could tell you the type of energy that they brought that made me remember, like, man, this dude was doing this. He was jumping up. He said something that was so much nonsense, but I remember that, compared to sometimes you give somebody the straight truth and it goes, they remember at that moment, but then once they leave away, they like, oh, I totally forgot what he was talking about. How many conversations, Elam, have we had? I know I've had a bunch of conversations. Whenever I tell people, like, Patrick Mahomes is better than Tom Brady, right? Even though the stats doesn't show, because his career isn't done, people like, they try to pick it apart and things like that. They remember that. But if I just be like, hey, yo, like, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers over, Josh Allen or something like that, like, okay, that's the facts. He has 4 MVPs. He's done this for so long. He got a Super Bowl, things like that. Like, people want, that's why I think ESPN has went in the way that they have done it, because they kind of like,
but see, I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem, is that there's so much emphasis on, I think there's so much emphasis on being entertained that people are looking for the next viral moment. They're looking for something to go viral that they can share, that they could click, that they can put on their homepage and, bot it up in some instances. But everybody doesn't want a fine cooked meal, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody doesn't want gumbo. Some people just want an extra value meal because it's quick, it's easy.
We used to say quality over quantity. Now it's almost like
quantity. Now it's quantity. It's quantity. What's quality?
Yeah.
I mean, it's quantity. What's quality? And it's like things. I wouldn't even say it's inverse. Like, it's so obscure, man. It's so skewed, and it's just like, yo, dog, like. And this is where I struggle internally, because it's like I know and I believe in my skills to where I can write stuff and ask questions that go viral in the press conference. I can be confrontational. I could be a troll, but that's not being true to who I am. You know what I'm saying? That's not why I got in the game. I got in the game to humanize people, to show them as nuanced, as complex individuals.
Hey,
but
see, that makes you a misfit in that way, because a lot of people ain't on that. I'm like in the middle. Hey, if it can go viral, let me say what I gotta say, ask what I gotta ask. Because crazy part is, a lot of times this is what I want to know, or this is what I believe in. And I just think that we need more of a balance back in the journalistic game, and we're going to see what happens. But Elam, we've been here a long time. Let's try to wrap this thing up. Let's give some shout outs before we go. End of the year. So I want to start off with this one. Shout out Jason Crow Jr., Inglewood High School, repping. The first California high school basketball player to score 4,000 points. The man is averaging 44 points a game right now for Inglewood. A shout out to you, JC Jr., doing your thing, hooping. I know they're going to play Lusinger, I believe, this year. So I'm going to have to really go and check that out. But yeah, that guy is just a walking bucket, especially at the high school level. You think of what LaMelo was doing, this dude is doing that every game without having Alonzo and LiAngelo and Big O and the guys that LaMelo had. So shout out to Jason Crow, going crazy. First athlete, basketball player in California to score 4,000 points. Joe Kelly, the former Los Angeles Dodger. That's a wrap. 13 seasons as a pitcher, reliever. He's calling it quits, the right-hander. He said it on weei.com on a recent edition of the Baseball Isn't Boring podcast. He's calling it quits, man. So, you know, we're gonna shout out to the legendary folks. And, you know, Joe Kelly.
Dodger great.
Yeah, Dodger great. He did his thing. Going into his new year, Elam, if you got to say something, what would it be?
Hey, if you go drink, stay your butt where you are. Do not hop behind the wheel of a car. Call an Uber. Hit one of the Misfits up in the DMs if you need a ride. We'll figure it out. If you in the city of Los Angeles, right? We'll figure it out. But do not drink and drive. Be safe. Do not go outside shooting your guns in the air because those bullets have to come down. And if you are going to use fireworks, do not be an idiot and try lighting them in your hand because you will not have a hand. I'm gonna call you Captain Hook the next time I see you.
Man, you gonna be like, what's his name? Four bats, blew off some of his finger. You know what I'm talking about, dude from 40s.
Yeah, 4 extra.
Yeah, 4 extra. There you go, 4 extra. Yeah, you know. But yeah, I just want to say, man, let's make next year be the year of LOVE. And I ain't talking about Diddy. You know what I'm saying? He tried to name himself love. I'm talking about real love, like being genuine. Elam talked about it earlier. We don't want to see people, you know, I know death is a part of the world, but we want to see less of it. Family feuds, relationship issues. We want everybody to find ways to find love in your heart and spread it to the world. Because that's what we try our best here at the Misfits. I know sometimes Eric talk a little crazy. I might want to, you know, say some things and get at him, but it's love, man. And that's what we want to make sure that the rest of this world is able to feel and, you know, show love. Say hi to people, hold the door open for somebody, you know, help the elderly. Like, these are good things that the world needs more of. So if you can do it, you know, somebody drop their jacket, let them know, hey, you dropped this, man. You know, drop some money, make sure they good. Like, let's bring some love over from this year, brother.
Hey, man. You know what? I'm a see you with what you said, bro. I appreciate you, man. I love you, bro. Thank you for riding with your boy, man. Yeah. What's crazy is just a random encounter at a Sparks game, man, led to this moment, bro. So let's go make 2026 our best year yet. Not best year ever, our best year yet. Man, I appreciate you for you know, linking up with your boy, riding with me, man. Thank you for being a brother, like in every sense of the word, man. Like on camera, off camera, in my personal life, man. I truly salute you and appreciate you, man. Love you, bro.
Hey, much love from Watts to South Central, baby. You know what it is. Shout out to our guy, producer Ben. Appreciate you, man. You know, you do a lot for us, brother. So it's much love here. You know, hey, we got a lot of greatness to come. A lot of great sports moments going to happen this week. So I hope y'all ready for it. So y'all going to see us. Hey, we going to be full Mamba mentality. Marathon continues. 2026 is going to go to the next level. So make sure that you guys are tapped in with us now. You know, follow us on social media, Mykell the PG, Elam Squared, and show us love. The Misfits Live. Show us love on YouTube. Go to Instagram, follow us there. It's gonna be the taker. You don't want to be the person that's like jumping on the bandwagon too late. You don't want to jump on the bandwagon too late. But Elam, get us out of here. Last episode of 2025, man.
Hey, we are the Misfits where we encourage you not to fit in, but find a way to stand out. For Mykell Mathieu, I'm Eric Lambkins II. And we'll see you in 2026. We out of here. Peace.